Welcome back. We are holding in Tractate Pesachim and Yaakov of Pesachim. The title is A Roasted Goat on the Night of Pesach. 53a in Tractate Pesachim. Rabbi Yossi said, Tudus of Rome. Tudus of Rome was a prominent Jew who lived in Rome. Accustomed the Jews of Rome to eat a gedi mikulas. What is a gedi mikulas? We're going to see. On the nights of Pesach, a goat roasted with its head, its legs, and its internal organs, the way the Korban Pesach, the Passover sacrifice, was roasted in the 8 days of in the days of the Beis Hamikdash, when the Beis Hamikdash was standing. So that was the custom of Tudus. And he also, since he was a prominent Jew, he affected other Jews to do the same thing. So the sages sent him the following message to Tudus. They said, if not for the fact that you are the prominent Tudus, we would put you under a ban, because you are making Jewish people eat the meat of sacrifices outside Jerusalem, which is forbidden. The Gemara asks, but this is not really meat of sacrifices. The people certainly did not bring the goats as a sacrifice. It was just meat. They ate a rotisserie goat. It was not a paschal offering. So the Gemara answers in 53b in Tractate Pesachim, it is just like making Jewish people eat meat of sacrifices, because it looks exactly like a Passover sacrifice. So it was very similar. So they told them that if you were not prominent, we would put you under a ban. If you notice, the Chabad custom, what we use for Zoya, is in the Cairo, in the plate that we prepare for Pesach. So you have the mor, you have the charoises, you have the egg, you have the 2 types of mor, and then we have the zoya. The zoya is for Korban Pesach. So Chabad custom is actually to take a neck, roast it, put it under fire, and then really burn it, and remove some of it. Before you're roasting it, you remove some of the meat, or you can do it after. Why do you remove some of the meat? So people shouldn't come to eat it, because it's a remembrance for Korban Pesach, and eating it constitutes like you're eating Korban Pesach, and it's a problem to eat Korban Pesach because you're not in Yerushalayim. Even if you're in Yerushalayim, in a state of impurity, you're not allowed to eat Korban Pesach. So in this case with Tudus, since he was a prominent guy, they didn't want to put him under a ban right away, but they told him that it's wrong, because you're making them like eating Korban Pesach. But he said, no, it was not my intention. I didn't want them to. I just want them to have a roasted goat on Pesach. So the lesson learned from the frogs, that's the Dam Tzfardei, the second plague of Mitzrayim. First was blood, and the second was the frogs. So the scholars asked a question: was Tudus a great man, or was he a powerful man? Was he a powerful man or a great man? Did the sages refrain from putting him under a ban out of respect for his learning, or they were afraid of him because he's maybe close to the kings of Rome? So the Gemara answers a common lesson. Tudus of Rome must have been a great scholar, for he also taught this. What reason did Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, the 3 prominent rabbis, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, have to allow themselves to be thrown into the fiery furnace for the sanctification of God's name? Why did they not apply the rule, V'chai boem, you should live by it? So because everyone bowed to the idols, they didn't bow. Could have just bow like everyone and be saved. Instead, they allowed themselves to be thrown into the furnace. So why did they went so far with their self-sacrifice? Why did they not apply the rule, he should live by it, by the Torah, Leviticus 18:5, and not to die by it. So Rashi explains, they drew a logical inference from the frogs. They reasoned, if frogs, which are not commanded to give up their lives for the sanctification of God's name, yet it says about them, Moshe warned Pharaoh. Moshe said to Pharaoh, they, the frogs, will come up and enter your palace, and your ovens, and your kneading bowls. Exodus 7:28. Tudus expounded, when is the kneading bowl found near the oven? When the oven is hot, then you're bringing the dough close to the oven. So when the frogs jumped into the ovens, it means that they would be burnt. Yet they did not hesitate to do so. The frogs jumped straight into the ovens. We who are commanded, referring to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, who are commanded to sanctify God's name, surely must sacrifice our lives. So this teaching proves that Tudus of Rome was a great scholar, not just a powerful man, or maybe it wasn't that wasn't a powerful man, but it was he was a surely a scholarly man. So Rabbi Yossi ben Avin said Tudus would fill the pockets of Torah scholars with merchandise to enable them to do business. He would give them money so they can do business. For Rabbi Yochanan said, whoever puts merchandise into the pockets of Torah scholars will merit to sit in the heavenly academy. For it says, whoever distributes of his wealth to Torah scholars is in the heavenly domain of wisdom. Whoever distributes of his wealth to Torah scholars is in the heavenly domain of wisdom. And this is taken from Koheles, chapter 7, verse 12. Bruchim Tiyu, God willing, we'll have a Hasidus class tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Bruchim Tiyu.